this. Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to another episode of the Free, Happy, and Thriving podcast. I could not be more excited for today's guest and for today's topic, and you're going to see why. So we are here with Monica Badiu. Welcome, Monica. How are you?
Welcome, Georgiana, and welcome to your audience as well. I'm super happy. This was a very nice surprise. We should let them in about this.
Yes. So first of all, Monica and I are both from Romania, and we recognize each other from the name. So we're super excited. Even though I embarrassed myself by forgetting my own country's map. Monica, forgive me.
It happens.
Geography, I was not in geography classes. I have to admit that. I was in history. I'm so excited because Monica, okay, first of all, I've got to tell you about Monica. So Monica Badiu is an experienced conversion copywriter and copy coach with 25,000 hours devoted to helping top course creators achieve exceptional results. She's joining us today, you guys. You're going to know why I'm so excited to share her 5 email copywriting secrets. You know how much I love an email list. So Monica is going to show us techniques for creating a human tone, overcoming self-promotion concerns, finding inspiration, understanding the audience, and ensuring consistent execution. Monica, if I'm right from what I've been reading on your website, is really just about like taking the block out of selling on email, right?
Yeah, that's kind of it. And this approach works just because it's so different from what everybody else is doing. And at the same time, it's not some mystery. It's just human conversation, supernatural flow, the same as if you would have a chat over coffee with some of your students. So it's not, I don't know, record breaking rocket science. It's just going back to the basics of respecting your customers and having a regular and normal conversation where you focus on what's in it for your customer rather than what's in it for you.
I love that. I love that. Because once you start scripting yourself. But before we get into that, wait, I want to know your story. I want to know your story. Tell us your story. We have your bio, but tell us about Monica, your job.
Well, I've been in digital marketing since I was like 20-ish. I'm 36 now. And I've done everything possible in digital marketing and brick and mortar marketing for businesses. So I've learned how to do Google AdWords, how to write blog posts, how to do a content marketing strategy, how to build social media communities, how to create videos, how to create offline advertisements, and so many things that at some point it was just hard to be really good or to stay on top of everything. So maybe I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to niche down on something. And before that, I've tried like doing Pinterest. I was good at that, but it was not my calling, sort of speak. So I found an agency who was doing what I wanted to do, and I started working with them. And over years, I was able to niche down on doing just email marketing and sales pages for course creators. And it's the email promos, like the sales emails everybody hates to do, that I love doing and I find super interesting. And in my real life, I'm a mom. I have a toddler. She's 3. She just started kindergarten and she caught her first cold. So that was fun for the last few nights. Um, I'm a paper artist and I actually want to show you something that I just finished yesterday because
Yes.
and apart from that,
Wow.
I love consumer behavior and psychology.
That is so cool. I love that. And you've handmade it, right?
Yeah,
I love
everything.
that. That is so beautiful. Look at that detail. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. That is
So
beautiful.
my passion for marketing started with like my first business, which is this is why I actually showed you the head crown, because that's what I started doing, handmade stuff, and try to sell it online, try to go to trade shows, and I had to learn how to do marketing for myself. So
Yeah.
for a while, I focused on SEO and ranked first for a few really big keywords in my niche for a few years, and then it kind of just opened this whole new area of like, this is how people are doing business, but you can do it better. And because half of the experience I have is with Romanian business leaders, I always looked for an alternative. Is there a better way, more correct, more ethics, more consumer oriented way of doing marketing? You know, is not creating sales messages that make people feel bad about themselves so they can buy your stuff, like going the other way around.
Yeah.
So early in my career, let's call it that, in my journey, I started doing remote work for companies based in the US and in the Western world. And it just opened my eyes to see that, you could have a business and it could be profitable. And instead of charging high prices for shitty products, so you could have 50-80% profit, you could go by with like 25% profit and still have enough to pay your employees a good wage, still have enough to invest in your business. So that was mind-blowing to me. And it kind of ruined me for life, because now all I do is work with people in the West, because our values and mindset are really a good match. I do bring some of that in the entrepreneurial world in Romania for who wants to listen, but that's a different discussion. So over the years, I know things just kind of came together, because I love consumer behavior, I love marketing, and I also love the idea that we can do business and we can do marketing in a way that feels good for ourselves as business leaders, as well as good for the consumer. And that's how I ended up here.
I couldn't relate more to your journey, because I've had such a similar everything in the marketing journey. And I like 100% understand what you're saying, that kind of led you here, because you've tried the SEO and you looked at what that means. You've seen like sales and like aggressive sales techniques. You've seen all the sides, the ads, all the things. And I understand 100% what you mean when you just kind of like, and it does all end with email marketing, because that's that one stream of communication you have with your audience. And if you choose to be genuine, if you choose to be yourself, first of all, it gets so easy, isn't it? When you just say, I'm just going to speak, like here, you and I'm sure that when we come off and we email our list, we still come across as this, what they're hearing here, right? And if they do, then we're real, we're just like genuine. I love your story so much, and I can just see, and for everyone in the audience, just how much a journey across, especially for anyone in the audience, because we have moms predominantly in my audience, but from all type of fields. So not everything is marketing. For some business owner, like you are at the beginning, right, with your crafts, right, with your handmade products, you don't do marketing as the thing. Now we do marketing as the thing. We're so lucky, because we do marketing as a service, marketing as a business, marketing our business. But a lot of the times, a lot of business owners, marketing that's not their business. What they want to focus is in their craft. Whatever they do, they offer, which is completely different. Then they have to market for it as well, right? So specifically to those listening in that field, I just kind of want to just back up your story in the sense of I felt the same, like I've done a very similar journey. And it just, when you've done this whole like 360 tour of marketing, you get like, oh, okay. And some things just start falling, and you start seeing that it's not that, I don't want to say it's not strategic, and I'm gonna like hear to your view on that, but like it's strategic, but it's also so natural, isn't it?
So I think the big problem we have, not just with marketing or entrepreneurship, is that we have social media, and before we had TV and magazines, and we're always in comparison mode, thinking what we do is not good enough. So we read about somebody else's results with TikTok and YouTube and email marketing and ads, and we're thinking, okay, so I want to do that. How do I get there? Thinking that that's what you need. You need to have those 4 channels to grow your business, and you need to do things exactly like that person is doing it. So, for instance, regarding with the email stuff, if you go to your inbox and you look at your emails, and most of them will be screaming 24-hour reminder, last chance to get your whatever. If you don't get this, your business will die. Or do you need clients? So if you look at your inbox and you see that that's what people are doing, then you're going to think that I need to do the same thing. And if I don't do the same thing, it's not going to work. So that kind of comparison at the same time and needing to do what others are doing just because you think that's the normal, that's a major misconception. And it applies to everything in our personal lives as well, because we always want to be better. There's always somebody who's doing it better, and that's part of how we were raised. And when you get so many
especially we have to say that, especially in Romania, people are watching. Who are these people?
I tell all my friends who want to do something with their business, why do you care? You shouldn't care about that. But that's the idea. So if you keep comparing yourself and thinking that's the normal, that's what I need to do, you're never gonna feel good about your business and your marketing. Because let's face it, especially with small businesses, your business is you. And if you don't feel good about what you want to do, if you don't see the purpose, if you don't see the why behind, sending an email or running an ad, the bigger picture. I'm not just saying I'm running ads because I want traffic and leads so I can make money. No, what's the why behind all of that? You want to make money. What are you going to do with that money? So it's very interesting. I've had to go through these things as well, both as a professional for my clients and both for my own business. And it's hard. It's very, very, very hard, especially when marketing isn't something you love doing, or you don't have time to train. You don't really know, okay, where do I turn to for advice? And you search something on Google.
There's so much now.
Exactly. You click the first result, or you go to TikTok or whatever, and you have these people that claim, well, what I do is going to work for everybody. And you try that and then it doesn't work. And that's because each business is unique, because each business is formed of people. And those people are unique. And we live in an age where we can finally be ourselves. We have so many platforms. We can finally be authentic and use that authenticity, that voice in our messages to not even draw people in, to just show people, look, this is who I am. If you want to work with me, this is the kind of person I am.
And I feel like a lot of people are changing. Personally, and I say this all the time in the podcast, have realized that if I buy a strategy from somewhere, the main reason I should buy it is because I relate, a course, a strategy, like a course or coaching or something, right? The main reason is because I relate to them, in the sense of the way you do business is how I want to do business. The way you are makes me think or feel that. So if you're going to give me like a content strategy for social media, but you do something on social media that I never see myself doing, and whether I like it or not, and then I just feel worse about it, because now I'm like, oh, but I can't take out 3 reels a day and create all this transition stuff because I don't have time. I have 2 children, right? You said, right, a toddler. I have a toddler, a 2-year-old toddler, I think is
3 years.
Yeah, you have a 3-year-old, right? I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. 4-year-old is not, no, it's not toddler anymore, it's preschooler. You know why? It's like they're so little, they're so fast, they want our attention and we want to give it to them. So that, not to say that you can't be a content creator with children, or that you can be anything you want to be. Anybody can be that. But if you, like, for me, I don't feel I can push out that kind of content now in my life as a mom, as you are too, Monica, and most of our listeners. So if I buy one of those strategies of I've gone viral in 30 days, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It can work for a lot of people. It won't work for me. So what will I do? I will just end up feeling like I'm doing something wrong. I must not know marketing. I must not know this. When really, in fact, what I'm saying is that's not me right now, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
related to that. So maybe let me look at email marketing or ads or, you know, other stuff. It's like, as you
Yep.
said, there's enough platforms. And
You
if you
know,
really,
in
yeah,
my experience, so there's plenty of ways you can go about building traffic, but you need to be very clear about your standards. Like, what do you expect to happen and how fast do you expect it to happen? Because just as you said, if you go all in a strategy that implies you'll be viral in 30 days, that's not going to be something that's happening easy with just like, I'm going to publish one post,
yeah.
right? So there's a lot of effort. If somebody else is doing it, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. In
Mm-hmm.
terms of like,
Keywords have, yeah, yeah,
in terms of like ecosystems for, you know, i want I want to build something long term, because that's the idea with business. You want to build something long term. In my experience over these many years, I have found that organic search, like people go to Google, they look for the problem, they look for a solution, they find you. That's a really good kind of traffic to have. Now
yeah,
with YouTube, you can get the same quality of traffic just because they go to YouTube to educate themselves about the problem. If you have content there, they're going to come to you, right? So you
yeah,
need a lead magnet and then the email marketing. And
yeah,
I have heard this from so many people, but why should I focus on email when everybody's on TikTok? Why should I focus on building my website when everybody says, well, you don't need a website to sell or whatever? So obviously it all goes back to your choices in business and where you want to see yourself long term. In my experience as a professional, this combination of organic traffic plus email marketing is a super, super powerful asset that you can use over the years. So let's say you're going to sell your business, but having 1,000 people, 10,000 people on your email list, that's going to make the difference between how much money you can get when you're actually going to sell your business. It's also going to help you, you know, when you have a cash flow situation, you don't have any cash. Maybe your clients decided to leave, maybe, I don't know, whatever, something
yeah.
happens. Having that email list, presuming you nurture it a little bit, talk to them a little bit, show yourself as like, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is why it's beneficial to you, then it could be just like you have your own bank.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it that when you have 10,000 people on your email list, that's what even 1,000, even 500, even 100, that's when you can say, I'm going to send an email about a sale and I expect that there'll be a result. It might be on the first email, on the second email. Like I got to the point where I knew that by my third email, like if he wasn't making sales on the first or second email, he always makes sales on the third email. Like, and that was guaranteed. And I could guarantee that. I cannot guarantee that on my third post,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even guarantee who Instagram is going to show it to. Like,
Exactly. You don't control Instagram, Facebook, you don't control YouTube. The
mhm,
algorithms change a lot, even with like SEO and organic traffic, that also changes. So that's why it's important to start building an email list as soon as you start your business. And over
yeah,
time, things will change. Your business will change, what you want in business will change, but you still have those people. And it
yeah,
doesn't mean like you, oh my God, I have to keep these people for life. No, they're gonna leave, they're gonna lose
yeah.
interest. That happens.
Come back. Yeah.
Exactly, that's life. But having that email list, that's something a lot of people don't think it's worth having. And even if you have 100 people on your email list, that's the beginning. If one of them converts, you have a new client. And when your email list is smaller, that's actually easier to convert just because the conversation really feels like it's one on one, you know?
Yeah.
And you have a lot more time. You can reply to their emails. You can even send like one-on-one messages and just ask them, hey, Monica, how is it going today? So a few months ago, you signed up for this lead magnet. I'm really curious. Have you used it? Where are you in your business? Do you have any questions? Or you can even send a survey. Hey
Mm.
guys, so I'm thinking about doing this. I know lots of people in our community are struggling with this. What's your take? Can you help me fill this survey out? And you can actually get really good market research. So you don't necessarily have to use your email list to sell, because I know lots of people struggle with the whole concept. Things like, but selling is icky and whatever. That's a whole other conversation. But you can still use your email marketing to build your brand, to do market research, to get ideas for new products, for new courses. You can even sell affiliate products to your audience. So
Mm-hmm.
there, and affiliate marketing is kind of selling, but since you're not selling yourself, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, to promote it. I just want to add here because I'm gonna get into asking more because what you just shared about that, we're gonna like circle back on that because I want everyone to hear it. I tried it for a bit and it worked so well. Like when you said that, I was like, I want to hear more your thoughts. But I just want to add something before I ask you the next question. A lot of people think that if we have social media or TikTok, why do we need an email list? And I want to see what you think about this, Monica. But one way I view it is I have this thing that I always say is all for me in my business, all roads lead to the email list.
Mhm.
So having TikTok doesn't need to be a completely different strategy to the email list. Those TikTok followers that are most interested in you join the email list. So actually, if TikTok is the place that for you or any other platform that you want to build, you can, the email list is just like adjacent to it, but should be like, it's like the warmest place close to you, the inner, the inner tribe, the place where you're like, okay, this is where we're gonna have the conversation. So you can continue building on TikTok, but just putting a lead magnet in your bio, in your stories, in your like highlights, where you offer them something. Now you're saying, okay, so those of you that enjoy this content and want to come and have more of a one-on-one conversation with me, because in many ways it is, for them it is, when you receive emails from people, they're one-on-one, right, to some extent. That's it's just basically saying this pool of followers, yes, they may be interested in all my content, but when I have more to say, more to share, whether it's a survey, whether it's a one-on-one question, whether it's a sale, nothing wrong with the sale, right, whether it's all of this, now we can have conversations here. So it is your warmest, most engaged TikTok followers, actually. It's not one or the other. And it certainly would not damage any social media following. Quite the opposite, because often from your email, they come back to your social media. If they forgot about your social media, they will see the email and be like, oh yeah, of course, I like what you say, and come back. And yeah. What do you think, Monica?
I'm nodding my head because yeah, what you're saying is 100% accurate, Georgiana. So this is basically a funnel, right? So picture the funnel, right? You have at the top, you're gonna have like the widest audience possible and all these channels that bring in traffic. As people proceed through your funnel, they're gonna have multiple interactions, because the whole thing with marketing and running a business, and that's something that a lot of people don't really know, and it's not their fault, is that you need multiple interactions for someone to become a buyer.
Yeah.
And when you start at the top of the funnel, which is like super wide, you could have TikTok, you could have, I don't know, organic traffic if you want, you could have social media, whatever. They're not necessarily ready to buy. A very small percentage of people are ready to convert at that point, because you can't have, I know, 100,000 people in the same problem, similarly aware to the same solution and
Yeah.
ready to buy, right?
Yeah.
So you have that funnel, and let's say you're using TikTok. What's the next step you can do? A lot of people, they just go like linear. They focus more on creating content for that platform so they can talk to more of the people on that platform, and they don't really push people through the funnel. Some of them, they're just going to push them straight to a sales page, and that's not necessarily going to work, because again, people need more information to buy, and you're going to need to put them lower. You can send them to your blog post, you can send them to a lead magnet. Those are other buyer interactions, right? And through each interaction with your brand, they learn something new, they answer a question they have. With email marketing, I agree, that's where they can be super engaged and focused on what you have to say about the problem they have and the solution you are offering to them. And because social media is such a crowded place and we have so many interruptions and distractions, you just watch your TikTok and then scroll, that's
Yeah.
gone.
Scrolls
Something
by itself. Yeah.
exactly.
Where was
And
that? What was I watching? Yeah.
exactly. Sometimes it's really hard to even go back and find it,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So with email, it's there, it's in your face, and even that has its own distractions because you have your phone, you have your kid, you have the UPS guy, whatever. But at least with the email, you kind of have a direct communication channel with your leads. And you
Yeah.
can walk them through, really like take them by the hand and create a journey that they can follow in a much easier, more efficient way than, doing really good on TikTok. That's awesome, but they're not going to see all your TikToks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, consider the competition. And I keep saying this to all the course creators I meet. So the e-learning industry is now huge and it's going to attract even more players that have more money to invest in marketing. So if right now you're putting all your efforts into YouTube or TikTok and you've grown it and you have, I don't know, 1 million, 10 million followers, if you're not doing anything to move those people into an email list, somebody else is going to come, and this has actually happened. They're going to run ads on your YouTube videos and they're gonna bring those leads to them just because
Yeah.
they have the next point in their journey. If you don't give them the next point in their journey, they're just gonna continue enjoying your free content. They're not gonna necessarily take action towards achieving what they want, and you're gonna have to go back into creating even more content so you can stay, let's say, top of the mind, and I'm using air quotes here because
Yeah.
that's gonna go down as soon as competitor sees that there's money in that market, and
Yeah.
they're gonna come and
Or the
invest.
algorithm changes, and now we're not showing these long videos anymore, or we're not showing this anymore, and all that good content that was bringing you leads is gone. And this is not like to scare, it's not to scare. It's
No,
just
this
to
is the
say the
reality.
stable thing is your email list. It's yours. It's yours. It's your baby. It's yours. Like nobody
And
can take that away from you.
exactly, and you can use it to bring back to social media. So let's say
Mm.
you're gonna do a social media challenge, and that's really good for engagement and right, making it more visible, increasing engagement, whatever, playing the algorithm by its own rules, right?
Yeah.
So if you have 5,000 people on your email list, you're not gonna have 5,000 people who are gonna go to your challenge, but you're gonna have a good percentage of that
Yeah.
going there, and
Yeah.
it's going to be a direct engagement, which gives a really good signal that the person who's doing this is actually committed and at some point might even become a customer. You
Yeah.
can't really do that easily with TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Even with like running ads, you can have your ad account banned or hacked, and this has happened.
I just
And
had it. I'm an ads manager, and I literally just had it blocked. Like I just had it blocked 3 weeks ago, Monica, and I had to make it my fault. I missed the email. It was on my old email address. I don't see it. I missed the email to verify, and I had a little bit of a balance. It was a whole thing. The main problem was it was my fault. I was like, oh, I'll go back to it and deal with it when I'm filming my tutorial for my paid ads membership. And I got to it, and I was like, it said there like, sorry, you didn't take action early enough. So now I said, well, I've got to start a new Facebook profile.
yeah,
So
so
then I thought I couldn't disconnect my Instagram account to the ads manager. And yeah, I could have taken a chance, but I was like, because ads are the backbone of my business and what I offer as a service. And I get my main leads into my email list from the ads. That's the thing. Ads. If you run ads, you know this. If you listen to me, do not run them to anything else than your email list. Like the initial ads, right? You can retarget your email list. So they go in there. I had to make a decision, and I made one of those 12-hour, 24-hour decisions of my Instagram account is not engaged enough. It makes sales, but not enough compared to what I get from ads into my email list. And I make, it was an old account. It had low engagement because like, I think I came back to it after 2 years. So a good 800 followers, probably 700 were not even active. And I had 900. So then 200 active. Switch accounts. It did not affect my bottom line 1 second. You know why? Because everything is in my email list. Everything, my conversations, I still did my summits, I still did my flash sales, I still did all my things, I still made my sales in my email list.
Yep.
Literally, not one effect. And I'm slowly carrying my followers over, DMing them. Like that is the truth. You can get yourself banned. You can get yourself on social media. You can't get yourself banned of your own email list. That is your list of contacts. People can unsubscribe. Can you? Monica, can you?
You can if you do it wrong. It's not necessarily banned, but you're not going to be visible or you're going to be reported as spam. We can talk about that a little bit. But yeah, that's completely true. I have seen businesses that were always, always on the verge of burning just because if something changes with Facebook ads, they're done. They're going to close their doors. So we had to actually build a system, data-driven marketing. That's the agency where we've done this, where we could get those Facebook leads, nurture them, like get them into an email list, nurture them, have some micro commitments, like small price,
Yeah.
products, so that eventually they could have an ecosystem that was not always reliable on Facebook. And you could see it like when the Facebook targeting was off, going down, money not coming on, leads not coming in. It's very scary. Like it's
Yeah.
so scary. And for people who are starting, yeah, that's fine. You can have one or two traffic channels at some point. But as you grow, you need to have backup. And this goes for people who are only like focused on SEO traffic, because I've seen that as well. And going from a few million views per month to half, that's gonna cut into your revenue from ads. So you start to build a second traffic channel. What can you do? Should you work on Pinterest? Should you create content for YouTube? But the email marketing stuff, that needs to be in place from day one. Even if right now you have like 0 visitors on your website, that doesn't matter. Build it from the beginning. It's gonna reap the benefits long term.
Yeah. Because when you're high, what you just said there, when you're high here, right? Like you start and you're high here and you're getting whether it's views on your videos or that, and you're attracting people into your email list, you store that. That's your audience. That's in your email list. That's people that said, yes, of course they can unsubscribe, but they're still, let's say you've gotten, I don't know, 10,000 views on your reel, but somehow you've attracted 50 people to say, oh yeah, I said yes to your lead magnet. That's 50 in your email list. I bet you that if you finish in 2 months and you might have, let's say, I don't know, something went down and your reels now, instead of 10,000, they're getting 500 views. Yeah, but every time you got 10,000, you got 50 in your email list. Now you're ending in 2 months with maybe 500 or 1,000 people on your email list. Now, not only you are reaching those people or other new people there, but now you have your own people that you're having a one-on-one conversation, 500 people that said, I want to know more. And another thing is, Monica, it's of service. If I'm interested in a company, I'm like, please, like in a coach, in a course creator, please let me speak to you one-on-one. I don't want to have to go and have all this distraction on social media to find out about your content. Please email me. Like it's like of service, isn't it? Like, let me know if you have a sale on that product I wanted, or let me know your tips. It's of service. It's not nurturing an email list means serving an email list, right?
Yeah.
Monica, I do want us to, I know time is going, so we're not gonna have a copyright coach on the call, and I'm not gonna ask the questions. I do want to shift our conversation of give us what to say. Tell us
Oh, give
what to
us what to
say.
say. We need a few more episodes, but I talk about this a lot on LinkedIn, for instance. I do weekly email reviews. So I go in my inbox, I just select a victim with air quotes, and I just look at it. Okay, so what is it saying? How can this be better? And I'm doing this because I know that a lot of people, I tell them sell without selling, focus on value, have a human connection. What does that actually mean? I'm all about, when I teach people, I teach the why. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? The how and the what matter less if you understand the why. So why should you talk about the problem in your emails? Why should you lead with that instead of with a discount, right? That's the first thing to consider. And for a few like tips, be regular with your emails. So if you're sending one email this month and another one 3 months from now, people are going to unsubscribe because they don't know who you are. You need to decide on a regular schedule. If you can do one email per week, do one email per week. You don't have to go into selling mode right now. But if you have social media content, if you have a blog post going, send that. That's still enough for when you're going to be ready to do more. The other thing is, if you're getting people on your email list right now, focus on automation. So for a lot of people who don't have time, automation is a really good way of hitting all the big important buttons. First of all, is you signed up for something. Well, I'm not going to just forget about you for months. You get an email saying, hey, welcome. This is what you got. Here's how to use it. By the way, I'm going to send you a few more emails in the days to come. So we're going to get to know each other. The day after or 2 days after, you tell them, so hi, I'm Monica. I'm an email marketing copywriter and copy coach, and I teach course creators how to understand what to understand about email marketing, why it's important, and how to do it in a way that feels good. What does that actually mean? Well, this is what it actually means. And if you want to have the longer version, click this button and it will take you to a video or to one of my blog posts. The next email. So what we're doing right now is important. You talk about like the bigger mission, right? Why do you do what you do? What's your purpose with your business? How do you want to help people? Well, I'm an email marketing coach and I teach people this customer focused approach because we have enough consumerism and there's enough chase for profit. But when you started your course business, you probably started because you have something to say and you care about the people you want to help. What's that problem you're helping people with? What do you want them to achieve? So you talk about the mission, and then you can have a few more emails. You can even have towards the end of that automated sequence. You can have a sales email if you want. But the whole idea is that the automated sequence does the heavy work for you. Because if I signed up for your email list, I got one email, and then I have to wait 1 week to get your newsletter. That's not enough.
Mm.
Plus, it also hurts your people will unsubscribe, but they will also mark you as spam because if they don't have any brand recognition because you haven't emailed them frequently enough, who's this person in my inbox? This happens to me all the time. Like I go into my inbox and I see some name, like who the hell is this guy? I
Yeah.
don't know. I open the email, I scan it. It doesn't sound familiar because obviously they haven't emailed me enough to introduce me to what they do and why they're doing. So there's no brand recognition. And there's the email maybe doesn't even say what's in it for me. Unsubscribe or even report as spam if it looks weird. So all these things can help you have a good relationship with your audience. The
I just want
fourth
to
one.
pause there and I just highlight that what you just said. If you didn't email me enough in the places I'm in, a lot of the places I'm hanging out with, and I know with my audience and a lot of the people in my world that I collaborate with are afraid of emailing their list too much. But what you just explained there, like that is so powerful. That just I want to stop and really emphasize that the fact that if you don't email enough, especially at the beginning, you're just going to be a name that looks spammy in the inbox because they can't know you. So that fear of, oh, I got a lead magnet. Let me not, like I'm in a lot of places, I do a lot of bundle collaborations. And in some of these groups, everyone is like, no, don't email because you're going to spam people. Well, in a month, they're not going to remember who you are, like completely, absolutely. And people will unsubscribe and you have to be good with that. Unsubscribe is not a bad thing. Unsubscribing is, I'm not actually interested, but guaranteed you're not going to get 100% unsubscribe rate. You're probably going to get more like 5-10%. That means
Less.
you're even less, right? And that means you're left with 95 or more
Yeah.
of people in your list that are actually engaging. Yeah.
The idea is that you don't have to email them daily. Like it doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to send 3 emails per day. That's
Yeah.
not the case. But with email marketing and with these automated sequences, you can create journeys. So let's say you are a coach and your goal is to help a small business owner post reels over the next 7 days. And you have a topic for each reel, and the objective of this is to have them be seen on social media, break through their imposter syndrome, make them actually see the value in what they're doing. If you're going to do that on social media, they're not going to see everything. However, if you take them on a journey in their email and you focus each email on one specific action, one specific problem, and it's all about the value you are giving them, not what you're getting out of their interaction with you, then you can send emails frequently, because people are going to say, okay, so this brand, this is all about giving me valuable information that actually helps me grow my business, or master my mindset, or overcome my limitations. So I know that if I invest 30 seconds into scanning this email, because people don't read anymore, into scanning this email, I'm going to get an idea that's going to help me navigate this problem I'm having. So that's how you write emails that people care about. Because what we're getting right now, most of the emails are shit. They're all about, oh, I've done this and I went to the store and I bought 10, whatever. I have a Lamborghini. That doesn't really matter. You need to change that story into something that talks about the audience. So what's the audience's problem? What keeps them stuck from achieving what they want? What have they done before and they have failed at miserably? You talk about all those things, and your email becomes a sort of like coaching conversation. And I think that's the best way to explain how I look at marketing, and it works better for course creators and consultants and infopreneurs, because they have this component for education and kind of guiding you towards achieving your goal. So most emails, they're just like, well, here's a discount, enroll today.
Yeah.
That's not enough anymore. You're not the only person who's giving out discounts. So why should I actually buy and work with you? That's where your email starts to come in. And you can tell them about your own story in one email and explain how, well, if this sounds like you, that was exactly me 10 years ago. Recording the same video 10 times and then deciding I suck and I'm not video material and my voice is horrible and I have pimples. But then this is what I've done. And, it's not just me. Open my next email. I'm going to tell you more about the people who, just like you, thought they're not going to be good enough for this. So you go beyond the surface level of save me money, save me time. Go beyond that.
Yeah.
If you would,
Connect.
exactly, if you would be coaching a client, what's keeping them stuck? Because time and money, they're surface level objections. Go deeper. That's why I say consumer behavior and psychology are amazing things to have for me as a copywriter, but even for the business owner. So go beyond the surface level objections and desires, because everybody talks about that. A really good place like to learn more is like Abraham Maslow's pyramid of needs. So you start from the bottom and then you ascend towards like status and reputation and meaningfulness. So you can look at your emails and your message and think, okay, what's the need that I'm addressing with this email? What does my audience actually want? Do they want more time just because they want to, hang out on the couch? Or do they want more time because they want to have more time to help in the community or spend more time with their family?
Yeah.
Each are two different needs. The first one is about reputation and belonging. The second one is about belonging and the safety of having a family. So go beyond all those things and coach people. That's the whole thing. You just coach. You don't judge. You don't threat. You don't tell them, I'm going to change your life. Those are bullshit affirmations. That's why people think email marketing sucks and it's awful, because there's so many people that says, if you don't get in this course by midnight, the doors will close and you will lose the chance of a lifetime to fix every problem in your life. That's how it sounds.
Only so they open again next month. Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. I hope everyone is hearing this. You have literally what you just said there about coaching. Like I'm all for natural. Like I've dropped the script. And even in what I I give my students. I give guidance because I know sometimes you're stuck and you want to see what someone else did, but not scripts. Scripts are gonna make you sound like a robot. So I'm all about being very like me, genuine. Like if you're gonna see me real life, like better my emails sound the same and they're gonna have emojis and show energy and show me. So I've been very like honest in my email list, and I think it's really worked. But what you just said there about the coaching, and it helped me think instantly about the emails I open regularly all the time. They're the emails that I don't want to miss what they said, because I just know that they're going to give a nugget. Like I'm in my business right now at the stage in my business, because I'm really about connecting with people. Like I feel like I've been around the block with all the strategies. I know the strategies. Sometimes I like to see like a good BTS, like show me what you've done, especially if I know that I'm connecting with you as a business owner. Like we do business similarly. So I love to open those. And it's just like, and everyone's at a different stage. Somebody will be like, give me real tips, give me subject lines, give me this. But as long as you are like what you just said there, like what you just said about having a coaching conversation in your email list and how to approach that, of actually just going beyond just time, just money, just urgency, but actually, because you create a need, isn't it? It's like we're talking right now, right? And you're sharing all these tips. You cannot possibly share all your tips on this podcast. You cannot share it on your email. Now, naturally, any of us who have been like, oh my goodness, what Monica had to say, change my view, is going to really help my email list. Naturally, we're going to be like, okay, where's more? Now, do you have an email list? Because I want to keep in touch with you. Then from the email list, you'll be like, yeah, but I want more. Maybe you have a service. Maybe you can help me write them. Maybe you have a course. Maybe you have templates. Maybe, like, you know what I mean? Like, it becomes like people want to buy from you when you give them that, right? Like they just naturally want more of the good that you've given them, because it's convenient and it's extra helpful.
Yeah, it goes beyond this consumerism bullshit, because that's like a personal mission of mine, another story. But we buy too much stuff that we don't need and we don't use, and we do it because the majority of marketing campaign are built on fear mongering. So they're exploiting the fear within us, the fear I'm not good enough, the fear that I'm not going to be successful, the fear that I am different, the fear that my competitors are going to earn more. But that's the whole thing. They just focus on those things. That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. Okay, so you have this fear, but this fear is not going to be here forever. You can talk about the same thing in two different, tones. The one is like, oh my God, this fear is going to ruin your life. You need my course now and it will solve you. Or, look, you have this fear. I have had it as well. A lot of people have it. We talk about that every time during our group coaching calls. The fear stays. It's what you do about the fear that matters.
Yeah.
And there are 10 different solutions out there, because we are all humans and everyone is different and we all want something different from our lives. And you could try 10,000 of them and maybe none of them work. Maybe you will be the one who invents a new solution.
Give the power, actually empower.
Yeah, you
your
empower
people,
them.
not tell them that you're the guru, come in here.
Exactly.
You're
Exactly.
done.
You empower them and you can end up saying, look, whether that's you or not, this is what other 10,000 people have used to achieve this goal. Give it a look, see what's inside, and then if this sounds like you, we're here and we're rooting for you. P.S. This week we are running a special deal. You can get in and save 50% off the regular price. That's a lot different than saying you have this problem and this fear is going to ruin your life. Get in right now and change your life. You'll also save 50% of the regular price. And lots of emails, they don't even start with that. They start with like, save 50% of the regular price. Get in right now and save your life. So that's the difference. You can have respect for your consumers rather than try to kind of trick them in and aggressively push them into joining something. Because fear works in making the commitment. Like, I'm going to buy this because I am afraid. But that doesn't mean they're going to use it.
Yeah.
And what do you want? Do you want people who just buy your stuff and they don't use it? Or do you want people who buy your stuff, they have results with it, and then they come back and they also talk about how good your course was?
Yeah, because the sell is nice, but ooh, how good it is when you get a message,
Yeah.
when you get a testimonial, when you see that people are completing your stuff, and then they share that, and then you share that, and the next sell is easier because people are like, oh, there's social proof, and oh, wow, that person that just like me, oh, did, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, wow, Monica, that is next level. That is truly, I feel like whether it was in your bio, you said at the beginning, that is truly a different way to look at it. Like, I'm so grateful for you sharing this because it is truly a different way to look at it, and just to really still feel for our listeners in, and I'm feeling it having a conversation with you, to just feel like all this power is within. So as you listen to this, to all our listeners, know that you can just, it's not like in the first email that's going to come across like that, but as long as you email and you think about it and think about what Monica shared about just being genuine and helpful and coaching, helping, like really, like connection sells, connections, people can make their own decision to buy more from you, because they, like, we don't need to convince people to buy from us. I'm a firm believer, and for myself as well, when I buy, and for my students, like, you will buy when it's the right time for you.
Mm-hmm.
If I've convinced you, something is gonna, the payment plan is gonna default, the coaching plan is going to like stop halfway. Like, it's just not gonna work because I can't make this decision for you. Like, and if you come empowered, like you come empowered to get what you want to get, you're gonna find, because you are empowered, you're gonna find your solution amongst my content and my calls and my things, right?
That's what you do with your emails. You figure out what's keeping them stuck. And early in your, let's call them email promotions, early in your email promotions, you're not going to talk about why they're not buying your stuff. That's not the problem. The problems are, okay, what do they think about themselves? Them not being able to achieve the desire they want, the outcome they want. What do they think about the industry as a whole? What do they think about this type of solution, whether it's a course, a coaching? You break those false beliefs first, but you don't do it in an aggressive way. You do it in
Yeah.
a very empathetic way. So, sort of like you are talking with a coach and you're asking, so, Monica, last week you said you were gonna figure out email marketing. What happened? Where did you get stuck? Oh, there. That's super normal and that happens to a lot of people. So let's talk about it. I even have like a fun exercise for you to figure this out on your own, because I can give you the guidance, but if you don't commit to taking the action yourself for yourself, I can give you the course for free. You're still not going to do anything for it with it.
Yeah.
So obviously this whole conversation is a lot bigger, and again, it's not about what we write, even it's not about even how we write, like the frameworks. It's about why do we have a business? Why are we selling what we are selling? Why do we want this audience? Why are we using email? So go back to the why. And a lot of people think they're just kind of victims to the marketing world, right? So if I want to sell, I have to do things like they're teaching me.
Yeah.
No, no.
You can
We
do
have
it.
access to so many platforms and we can run our businesses on our own like we want them to.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take the strategies, but you can adapt them. You can take the script, because obviously somebody needs to teach you what to do first, how to do it, what's the process.
Helps to get you unstuck. Yeah. Yeah.
But adapt the process. And if there's any part in that process where you show resistance, why am I showing resistance to this? How does this not match my values or my brand? What's the worst that can happen? Should I at least give it a try first and see what happens? So nothing is cookie cutter and nothing is fixed, right? You have the ability to transform what you're getting, that knowledge, and make it yours. And that's what entrepreneurship is.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Monica, before we talk a little bit about where to find you, I do want to touch on something that we kind of diverted. I diverted you from the conversation. So I want to end with that based on what you just said, when you said talk about those, where they stack those pain points, there are people, and I know there are people in our listeners that are brand new, that may have 1 student, 2 students, 1 person on their email list, no email list. If you feel you don't know like their pain points yet, there's a bunch of things you can do. First of all, if you are your own target audience, you can go back to you in the past and that. But you shared something, Monica, that I've done and I've stopped doing. And I'm going to start doing it again, because the way you put it, it's like I did it not fully understanding the power in what, which you said, especially when you have a small email list, when you get your lead magnet, right? Message them and ask them how that went. So one of my biggest, fastest growing lead magnets with ads alone, that I give this example in pretty much all my ads courses and things of that funnel, was I had this like service offer kind of PDF guide. And they downloaded it. I promoted with ads. They downloaded it. And then I would actually email in personally. No. I feel like I've had a welcome system. I had an automatic sequence that didn't work. I didn't like how it worked. But either I was personally emailing it, or it was in my first email or second email where I was asking the question. I was basically saying something like, respond to this email and tell me if you are able to come up with this offer I've taught you how to do in this thing, and I promise you, I will respond to you and answer your questions. And I'm not even gonna say, like, I had hundreds and hundreds go through that. I'm not even gonna say that hundreds answered, only maybe like 20 or something. The amount of information, connection, and understanding I got from my audience through that question. Again, I can't quite remember. It was either, but you can do both, right? It was either in the automated welcome sequence, or that first email that goes out with the link where you send them, that any email provider will do. Or I was like following up. Like now I'm like, I'm going to follow up, like after what you said, Monica.
That's a really good tactic. I usually have, so 6 hours after somebody signs up for the lead magnet, you can send them an automated message that's text-based, like no image, nothing, similar like you would send from your own inbox, just saying, hey, Monica, you signed up for this lead magnet earlier. Did you get it? Please respond yes or no. I really want to make sure you got it. So that's an even easier commitment, and it does really good for your deliverability, and which is basically the chances of your emails actually getting in their inbox rather than the promotion or a spam folder. And with someone who just signed up for your email list, that micro commitment, it's gold. And you can lead from there in your own voice. You can have a one-on-one and ask them more about stuff. You can invite them to, hey, would you like to join this week's group coaching? Or, hey, I'm doing a live. Would you like to come in? It's happening there, whatever. I'm here. If you have questions, I'm always here. So yeah, don't think that just because it's an email, people are not gonna interact with it. Lots of people, they actually need help. And we are not trained to ask for help. So when the occasion comes, we do get it. And not everybody is going to be ready for that. But those who are ready, those can become customers. Maybe not now, this week, but in 1 year from now, nurture them, and you're going to get really good customers. That has happened for me as well, and for other clients. So it's not like something that just randomly put out there. That actually works.
It works. And the thing is, and like I get messages all the time. I personally, I get DMs to a person. Sorry, my son I can't even see you. Just like, has he gone? What time is it? It was 8 a.m. here. Don't tell me we've gone to midday. No, it's 9. We've been an hour. It's 11, right, for you?
Yeah.
I thought it's not gone midday, right? We haven't been. I could talk to you forever. Wow. I hope, like, I'm not even going to say I hope everyone heard this, because this episode is going to be promoted constantly. I want everyone to hear this. There is especially new entrepreneurs, those first people on the email list, and having that conversation. you can be a year on social media. And I love social media. It's so good. It's not like that. It's not good. It's good for a million things. But you can be a year on social media and feel like you've got an hour at your business and quit. There is no way. There is no version in this world. I refuse to believe it. I will be just ignorant. Monica, tell me what you think. There's no way you can have an email list for a year and communicate with that email list, even if you do it wrong. Like, just get better at it and feel like you haven't progressed in your business. It's impossible, isn't it?
The feedback you're gonna get from people, it's insane. And the only way you're not gonna get feedback is if you're not gonna ask for it.
Yeah.
So something I do with my clients, before we start the promotion, I have a series of 3 emails that focus on one problem and then explain how that problem is impacting other areas of their life or the industry or whatever. So bigger picture. And then the third one is a solution, sort of like quick tip for a quick relief that kind of teases what's coming next. And in each email, I have a micro commitment for the reader. Sometimes it's about like, hey, reply to this email and let me know what you think. Which of these 4 things you're going to implement today? Reply to this email with a number. And I recently wrote something for a client who was very concerned about the selling element of this and sending promotions and sending multiple emails. And we sent the first warm-up emails and he got hundreds of replies saying, this is so valuable. I love this email. Send me more. And if you don't ask for it, some people will reply. But that's the human nature. We need to see, not the command, but we need to have that invitation that it is okay to start a conversation. Because if we know, like, we have social media and all these many ways of connecting, we don't. There is even like the isolation is insane. And that's actually an even bigger reason for you to do email marketing. Plus, there are people like me who don't have any social media on their phone. And I go to Facebook half an hour a day and I have half an hour of LinkedIn per week. So I hate social media. I think it's a black hole. Yes, it is very useful for marketing purposes, but personally for me, it drains my energy and it kind of, it's a black void. And like 1 hour has passed. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I could have used this time for something else. Yeah. So there are people who could be your ideal clients who are not using social media.
I quit social media at least once every 3 months. Because of that reason. It's so good for marketing, but personally,
and I have another like insight,
because you're like, what am I doing in my life? You don't realize you're there.
I have another insight to mention. So lots of people in their businesses, they do keep the marketing aspect of social media, but they don't check it themselves. So other people create posts and manages the content and community for themselves, meaning if you're using Facebook to talk to, I know, business owners of a specific level, they're not going to see your content. They don't hang out there. Yeah. So that's, again, an open loop for another conversation, but really try to think, where is your audience? And to the person who is just starting and doesn't have lots of clients yet, read what they would be reading. So what's the problem you have? Look at who else is talking about the same problem. What are they saying? Do they have courses? Take their course, learn about that. Are there industry reports for the audience or for the market you're targeting? Learn everything you can, because that allows you to make your message not just like shallow stuff. It's very specific, it's on point, it's relevant and helpful, because there's so many people talking about everything and there's fluff and nothing helps. So if your audience decides to invest their time reading your content, make sure it is helpful to them, not to you, to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Monica, I think everyone listening to this is going to want to know more. You have the freshest perspective to email marketing and what to say that I've ever heard. And I do a lot of email marketing and I love email marketing. Like, I live for everything to do with the email list. Tell us, how do we know more about you? Is there any way to join your email list? Because I think we're all dying to know what you say in your emails. So I always say, when we have a good person on the call, I always say to everyone listening, join the email list for the offer that our guest is going to make, but also remember that you're going to get to interact and like see the expert, like you know, like you can learn from someone's emails just by reading their emails. So like I'm totally joining your email list because there's so much value.
You can reply to my email. So you can go to my website, monicabadiu.com, and
Yeah,
you're gonna get a pop-up that gives you a chance to sign up for 93 subject lines for email promos. And you can get that. It's a PDF. I update it twice a year. So next year it's gonna be longer. And each week you're gonna get one email from me, sometimes more, but it's usually one email because I post a lot on my blog, and I post about email marketing, copywriting, consumer behavior, marketing strategy, because that's something a lot of business owners don't have. I try to make it as approachable as possible, so easy to understand, because I think those are some big puzzle pieces that can run or break a business. And you can also find me on LinkedIn and on YouTube, where I publish once a week an email review. I talked about that earlier. And if you have questions, if you need help, send me a message. I love to help. It's one of the reasons I'm a coach and one of the reasons I am an entrepreneur. So reach out, and I would love to help with an advice, with, I know, if you want resources like what books should I read, what courses should I take to improve my email marketing or copywriting or all of that, just email me and I will happily answer.
I love that so much. So all these links are in the show notes, wherever you are finding out about this episode, whether it's under the episode, whether it's in the email, whether it's in the post, you will find those links as well. Thank you so much, Monica. Honestly, it was such an amazing conversation. I am so grateful for your time, for your knowledge. Honestly, you have a very, very, very empowering, fresh and perspective that I know it works. Like it's amazing. It's amazing. And you don't find many people that take this approach to marketing. So I've loved having the conversation with you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Georgiana. It was amazing. And I loved having the opportunity to share this message. I think lots more entrepreneurs need to hear that they can do things differently.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And again, remember to connect with Monica on all the links shared. Thank you for everyone listening in, and see you on the next episode of the Free, Happy and Thriving podcast.